So, hello guys, hope you hear me. I haven't tested every single aspect of my setup today, but let's just transfer the window to the other screen. Alright, let's play another game, Catan, Cities&Knights. Maybe let's go for a 4-player game today. That's a little bit more challenging than 3 players. I'll be also uploading this video to YouTube later, but mainly for my Catan bubble, which I'm, a little bit invested in lately, especially since the tournament I played. Let's just hope for now that nobody quits during the settlement phase, because if two people quit before the first war, then I will also not continue, because I don't have time for that. So alright, I'm in 4th position, which is, well, it's probably the best position out there, because you are then the first to place your city, and in the base game, being last is not necessarily an advantage, but I think it is slightly in Cities&Knights. But it also depends on the setup of the board, of course. And as you can see, Red, the first player, already picked what was clearly the best spot available. This is going to be a hard board for all of us. Not a position I fancy a lot, because the desert is quite central and blocks off important squares like this 8 sheep tower, which would otherwise be quite valuable, but of course is massively devalued by the desert. And yeah, I'm already not 100% sure what is the right call here. Blue needs to place a road. We're waiting on Blue. He chooses to go there. So various options I'm contemplating is going 5, 9, 10 and then 5, 6, 11, but I've got a bad wood brick ratio. With that setup, I've got way too much brick for my wood. I could also go like 8, 10 and then maybe 5, 9, 10 or 5, 6, 11, but I'm not totally convinced on either of these strategies, to be brutally honest. Well, let's go for pure production today. Let's go for the 5, 9, 10, go towards the coast. And then go for the 5, 6, 11 on the city, which is also somewhat nice in that it gives 2 commodities. So wood and sheep both give you a commodity when they roll. Yeah, somebody's going to pick this 4, 9, 11 spot, which is also quite good. So I'm clearly not building my road there. I think the road on my city will be pretty useless, to be honest. And to be honest, I thought about going to the 5, 6, 10. Although obviously I cannot build in either direction, but just because so I can build a knight here and chase the robber away from both the 5 and the 6 once it comes there. But the robber won't be much on 5 anyway, since 3 players are on it, so only blue can actually place the robber on that 5 sheep, and that I think that's tolerable. But yeah, a setup I'm not completely convinced of course, especially since I don't have any ore, and building that first knight is always very tricky. I desperately need to trade for ore. Or I need to get a road and a settlement early enough to get on that 3-to-1 port and then trade for an ore, but that seems a little far-fetched. Oh, the 810 is still open. I wouldn't have thought that the 810 would be still available after the setup phase. Oh well. That should be the first place I go to. Unfortunately, in the first 2 rolls I haven't produced a single product, and the other players are pretty high on resources. Yeah, that 4 is really bad. Everybody produces a lot except for me. Everybody else. And yeah, I really need to get like 4 grain, I guess, to trade for 1 ore. But it's going to be a hard one, getting this light. I can... But I have been some force road, so I can at least ask if someone wants to trade me an ore. For a brick, ideally, because I produce too many bricks anyway. Compared to wood, and pink does. That's really nice of Annabella123, whoever she is, but yeah, that really relieves me massively. So I have an active knight and I don't need to worry about the first barbarian, because before the first barbarian there is also no robber in play in this variant. Which we haven't played at home, to be fair, but it makes a lot of sense since the robber can basically deny you a knight and kill your first city. It's not impossible to come back. I get 2 ore for 1 grain. Let's do that. Because I don't have access to ore, that's a really nice trade. Rounded 8 is not so nice. In general, 8 and 4 are numbers that I would be fine with if they didn't roll ever again. I'm not competing, by the way, for this 3-6-12 spot. Pink, Annabella, she can have that. I'm looking towards this 8-10 3-to-1 port. Oh, that would be nice, but I don't have grain. No, that also would be nice, of course. Getting a 3rd ore towards the city would be really welcome, but I'm not there just yet. So if I get the chance to build a city now, I will take that chance, since I don't think that all 3 other players will get a knight in time. And remember, if everybody builds a knight and I build a 2nd city, then we have 5 cities and 4 knights, so overall we lose, and then the player who contributed the least knights will lose a city, so that's everybody in that case. Which also means that I'm the only player left with a city. It's something that causes a lot of confusion to players whom I try to explain this variant. It's not counted individually per person. So you don't need the knights to defend your own cities. We all together defend and all together win or lose. I'm not upgrading my knight now since I don't want to help red, but if But I think actually I should have, because I think red is fine anyway. I think red has enough material to build a knight. But, well, I'm not that keen on getting the victory point anyway, since if I get the victory point, I make myself an early target. And also, it doesn't produce anything. I just give up one valuable ore in the process. Oh, another 7. Blue needs to discard half his cards. He has enough of them because of those 4s and 8s. Yeah, so the dice haven't been friendly to me so far. At all. The two most vote numbers are actually the two major numbers I don't have, which are 4 and 8. So, by a major number, well, it depends on what I mean with it, but basically, I always refer to the numbers 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. By the major numbers, of course. 7 is the most vote number, but it's not actually on the board. It doesn't produce anything. Of course, it's another 8. I'm pretty done for. I can't activate my knight even. Another 8. I mean, these statistics aren't funny anymore. Yeah, we have 3 7s, which don't produce, obviously, but then we got 3 4s and 5 8s, and it's another 4. So we got so basically we only rolled 4s and 8s. Guys, yeah, I'm about to quit this stream. I'm not quitting, of course. I'm not a quitter, but I'm about to finish this game with like 2 or 3 points. Ew, it's an 11. It's a new number. It's also nice because it gives me my first paper, and I think paper is really valuable because it yields green development cards, and green development cards are, on average, really nice, although on this particular setup I'm not too sure about green development cards because one of them is the mining, which gives you 2 ore per ore town which you are on, and I'm not on any ore town, so that doesn't bring me anything. Green cards are a little less valuable to me. And of course he blocks the number which hasn't been rolled yet, so I'm sure that the 6s will roll en masse now. I need a 5 to activate my knight. Oh, it's not a 6, it's another 8. Who thought? In theory, 6 and 8 should be equal. And by the way, in theory, 4 should be equal to like 10. So this curve should, in theory, when dice are rolled long enough, be like a Gauss curve, right? Well, not really a Gauss curve, it should be more like a pyramid. So going stepwise up linearly up to 7 and then back down again. But well, you see, we are obviously far away from a fair distribution, and since my numbers are, since I have exactly not the 2 numbers which break the Gauss distribution in this case, my game is pretty much toast already. Because let's see how many expansions blue has in all 3 colors. Blue is going to get a lot of development cards in the process. So I rolled a 7, which is nice, and Arabella quits the game, which is pretty awful. Yeah, blue is ahead. I really need to prioritize stealing from blue at this point. I get it on a glove, so I can use that with my Baukran, which is a construction crane in English. But I will use my I could play this card, but actually I'm quite fond of my... But let me play the trading port using that, only that... well, no, I can give one product of each away, I guess. So give you a sheep. Because he has the most sheep, so he can't use the sheep. And they all need to give me a commodity in return. Which is actually quite nice. I give Annabella an ore, because... And I'll give him a wood. Yeah, so I got 2 cloth. And also 1 politics, and I can use this construction crane to get another politics. That's actually really welcome. So now I'm on equal footing with blue when it comes to city expansions. So I should get a reasonable inflow of development cards from now on. Somebody wrote something in the chat. Let me see what. Haha, I expected that. I'm pretty sure he is referring to Annabella leaving the game. And it's another 7 and another rubber one. The 6, which hasn't even once been rolled so far. That trading port actually turned out really nice in the last turn. So the trading port is usually one of my less favorite development cards, but in this particular setup it turned out quite well. No, I'm not giving you that valuable grain, especially not now the robber is on my 6. So I need to reevaluate if red or blue is the more dangerous player. So I still think blue, but red is inching in. Getting another 11, okay, I appreciate that, but most importantly I can activate my knight, which prevents me from losing a city when the barbarian arrives, which is about to happen in 3 barbarian steps. And yeah, the others haven't yet. Partly because there hasn't been a single 6 the entire game. Oh look, I got a master trader on my hand, so I can steal 2 resources from someone who has more victory points than me, which currently is red and blue. The robber moves again, which I've also welcomed, but hopefully not to me, but red and blue are leading. The AI should really be moving to red and blue, yes. So that's actually nice, now the robber is not on my floor anymore. But those 4s, man, those 4s are killing me. I actually think red is the bigger danger in the moment, because he had this development on 3 green, which allows him to pick a resource every time he rolls a number that doesn't produce a resource for him. So yeah, but okay, I can't play the master trader on red anymore now, unfortunately, since blue stole the trader from him. So now he has 3 points equal to me, and you can only play the master trader on a player who has more victory points than yourself. But I can play it on blue, and maybe I will. But blue, of course, obviously doesn't have wheat, so I don't think I can steal many valuable resources from blue anyway. I obviously building a road here since I want to go for the A10 3-to-1 port. That was my goal from the start, basically. And again, I don't have grain at the moment, but I don't think grain is my #1 issue in the long run. There is the first 6, finally, so it gets me 2 grain. Yeah, Red is the issue player, because... Oh, he gives me a 4, which is almost a sure sign that 4 is about to never be rolled again. Which would only be fair, by the way, by the number of times it has already rolled. So I get another set of resources, which is nice, but I really need wood and brick to continue. Or for a city, which I would also take. So yeah, now I'm about to play my master trader on probably still Red. I think he's the dangerous guy. Obviously I 7 out on the first opportunity. Well, that 1 sheep can go away. I can depart with a grain as well, and I can depart with all of my commodities, unfortunately. That was a really bad throw. I'm not sure if I should play on red or blue. You might say, haha, choose blue, he has 6 points and red has only 4, but that advantage of getting to pick a card every time you don't produce is actually a really valuable one. On the other hand, blue has 2 strong knights, produces a lot of stuff. Oh, it's another 4, but this time I do produce on 4. Let me play on red simply because he has 8 cards, and from 8 cards you have more freedom to pick. So I can either take 2 or an ore and a paper. I want to build a city, so... But an ore and a paper is also valuable. Simply because I can then expand on paper. And I can activate my knight also to protect my 6. And to have 1 less resource in hand. 11, that was once my number, it isn't anymore. I do have great production spots in theory. But of course a 5 rolls when the robber is on it. An ore for a brick. Yeah, normally I would be totally in with this. But I haven't produced any brick on my 9 or my 10. Which is normally, like I said, this would be... I think I can do this trade because I produce enough grain, in theory. Obviously the 6 has been piss poor so far. But in theory I should get grain way more easily than I do ore. And a city would really improve my game on that 5, 9, 10. It's another 9, which yields me another road. Which is nice, so I don't 7 out that easily, but I'm really looking for a 6 now to get the grains to upgrade that 5, 9, 10 spot to a city. But I think there has only been 1 6 the entire game, right? Yes, there have been 8 7s, 8 8s, 7 4s, even 4 11s, and only a single 6. So, yeah, if I lose this one, I can't really, like, point my finger towards where it exactly went wrong. This was just a dice. Maybe we'll play another game after this, because this one... Yeah, I don't think this one is of any value to any of the viewers. I mean, obviously you're going to lose when when the numbers that produce are just the numbers that you don't have. I mean, that's an obvious fact. I'm still lacking brick, which is pathetic, by the way, because I thought I would produce way too much brick on 9 and 10. And I'm still lacking wheat, which I'm on 5 and 6, which is almost equally, if not more, pathetic. So yeah, they can all build city extensions like they wish, basically, especially with those 8s and 4s. And blue is fighting for the victory point with his knights. I'm only 7, which is nice. And I get an irrigation, which yields me 4 grain, which is really welcome. Yeah, I need to steal from red. Red is just way ahead of the pack. But I can actually use my knight for once. So steal from red not only once but twice, and I can do that since my irrigation yields me 4 grain anyway. So there's no worry about reactivating. I wouldn't even need to reactivate with all those knights on the board. But I will do it just to be safe anyway. Play my irrigation obviously and get a city. That was actually quite stupid because I have the fleet as well. I could have just keep that knight passive and play the fleet on grain for a brick and also build a settlement. Which I really should have done because I'm way behind. I need to take every opportunity. So if I now roll another 7, I will once again do that trick by going to this 4, stealing from red, and then chasing the wobble away and steal from red again. Which, to be fair, when I played with my family in my youth, I used to do that all the time, and my family hated me for it. So people called me the FC Bayern of Catan, and if you recall what image the professional football club FC Bayern Munich has in Germany, it's overall not a good image. Because I won too many games, and well, they just hated me for hating me, I guess. Oh, he has a monopoly. He plays it on ore, which is, yeah, really not good. Because I wanted to play the monopoly on ore, and I basically can't. So, okay, blue is fighting with pink over that blue metropolis, which is fine for me. Let them fight. So I have a really nice card, but I first need to evaluate if I play my monopoly. And I guess I will on wood. I can't play it on ore because blue already played it on ore, so the other players will be lacking any ores, unfortunately. But this was nice, and the next one is also nice. Playing a wedding card, so everybody has to give me 2 cards. Yeah, so now I have products for days, and I would really like to build 2 settlements, and I think I can. Building a settlement here because purple hasn't taken that spot, and then playing. Where's the trader currently? He's in blue. That's okay. I'm okay with blue having the trader, so I will just play my fleet this turn, not the trader, and trade 2 sheep for a brick, which then allows me to build another settlement right here. And let me build another knight, since I just managed to finish this turn on time. That's fine. I mean, this wasn't a long turn. And I shouldn't have really activated that knight. It doesn't bring me anything. Yeah, he is monopolizing paper and building a monopoly. Yeah. Metropolis, I should say, not a monopoly. So I wanted the second knight basically to protect my 5 and 10 tiles, but that was a bit premature because I don't think I will get to rumble on those tiles anyway. I will probably always get it on 5 or on 8. But my game has started to somewhat come back, especially due to that wedding card, which in my position, being dead last on victory points, was actually a really nice card. Another 6, another free grain. So I was afraid of that already, that I would produce way too much grain. Which is why I will probably use my trader in the next turn. To trade those grains for something I can actually use. I could block red off this port, which is a nice idea. So building 1-2 roads and building a settlement here, then red cannot build a settlement on the brick port anymore, which is really nice. I could also try to go for the brick port myself, since I do produce brick on 3, 9 and 10, which is typically a bit too much brick to have, but that would take me a long time and I'm actually not sure. That would only make sense if I roll like a 10 next. A 5 is of course nice for me, but not that useful. But I can first place a free city wall, so let's do that. Then I can buy a yellow extension, which is also quite nice, since actually the yellow metropolis is still available. So I could now go for the yellow metropolis by putting the trader on grain. But yeah, I'm not sure that's actually worth it. Let me just block red. I think that's the more logical way forward. So going here and taking longest vote in the process, also 2 victory points, and activating both knights. So I'm out of resources now. That's actually a nice move. Yeah, the game is starting to develop. I just need to buy that yellow metropolis, which is still available actually, and to buy another city and get my 13 points. I didn't expect it to turn out that well, even though I always thought I would do well with my production, but it took me a long time to get off. But this settlement is really nice because it blocks red. It's basically a destructive settlement. Of course, I make my longest vote vulnerable to red. But yeah, red and I really need to fight this one out. I don't think blue or pink will have a say in this game. Red, of course, can take my longest vote if he moves his knight into my vote, but also if he just extends his own vote, which probably makes more sense for him. But I will be competing for that vote. I will not be giving that up easily. I can also build around the desert. So he steals from red. Oh, resource monopoly on brick, that's bad. That's not good. and also my 5, which is my natural income of club for the yellow metropolis. It's blocked. I really can't need the over there. I do get a sheep from 8 now, but it's not that useful to me, at least yet. He was another 7, yeah. Probably will steal from me twice. He can't steal from me 3 times because I'm not on this night. Only blue is. Only blue is. Yeah, he goes there and steals from me again. Yeah. And then blue will probably chase it away and steal from me again. That's usually how this game works, even within my family. Like, my dad deliberately moves the rubber to my mom's night, so my mom can chase it away again and steal from me again. That's basically the story of my youth. Oh, I get a medicine. That's really nice, of course. It allows me to buy a city cheaper for only 2 ore and 1 grain instead of 3 ores and 2 grains. Which of course is nice because I need a city to finish. That's one of the victory points I need. That's one of the. He wants to get this yellow metropolis, of course, and probably he will get it faster than me. Yes, I really need like a 5. A 5 would be helpful. But I need to be stealing from red at every opportunity, basically. It's just red is just too dangerous with his green advantage, of course, also still. Although that green advantage doesn't yield him that much anymore, since he red is himself on all major numbers already. Not a 7, unfortunately. I would like a 7. Let me first chase away that robber and move it to red on a 6 maybe. Oh, I get a glove. That's nice, but I still can't buy the metropolis yet. Even with my fleet I can't. Because my trader is on grain and not on sheep, unfortunately. I will just sit this one out, maybe. Maybe I can like finish the game up in 1 turn, which I'm pretty much always aiming for. I'm not too keen on getting to like 11 or 12 points. I just make myself a target with that. I pretty much prefer. Oh no, I pretty much prefer to like stay on 10 for a while and then finish it up in 1 go. But yeah, that will not happen now since he will take my longest road away. I'm pretty sure he has to. He can't let me have that for 1 more turn. It's way too dangerous. It's way too dangerous that I actually finish on this turn. Oh, he lets me have the longest road. Surprising. Surprising that he lets me have the longest road, Matt. I mean, okay, I guess. There was a 7 road, so no protection. But it's a dangerous game they are playing, Matt. Very dangerous game. I mean, if I roll a 5 now, that pretty much should be it, right? I get a second glove. I only need 2 more, which I can trade for 2 sheep and 2 grain, probably. I place another bishop. Okay, it won't. It won't happen on this turn, unfortunately. And he takes the trader. Probably he will take the yellow metropolis away from me now. And then, yeah, it's getting difficult. I need to, yeah, go for longest road again, but it's not that easy anymore against red. I'm not very worried about blue himself. Blue has way too less production, but oh, he traded 2 cloth away, so he's not going for the yellow metropolis. Okay, he leaves me that one. I can't say no to that. And red and blue both have 6 knights, which is nice because they invested a lot, of course, for that 6 knights, and it won't yield any of them a victory point. So I could now play my turncoat on blue, of course, which would give me a free knight, which sounds really impressive. It sounds really nice to have a free knight, but does that actually do that much for me? I'm not so sure. Like, I can't chase the robber away with that knight. I actually should have gone on the 2 sheep, I guess. That would have been the more IQ move. To go on the 2 sheep and then play my turncoat on blue. And steal his free knight and chase the robber away. That would have been the better move. Oh, he gets 2 grains. And he will probably take my longest road now, right? Yeah, it wasn't a great showing that last turn. Oh, now I'm thankful that I stole the coins, because I can give him the coins and I don't need to give him that valuable glove. Which, of course, I desperately want for my metropolis. It's a 3, that's another brick for me. I get a spy, but that won't survive until my turn. I'm sure somebody else has a spy. Yeah, it wasn't a great move, that last one. But I'm surprised that red has kept me alive and not taken my metropolis. Can I actually punish him for that? I mean, I just need 2 cities and a metropolis, depending on what the spy gives me. That's actually not that much. Road building, okay, blue is not threatening my road, that's fine. That's fine. He can have a road building. So I need to watch who has yellow development cards now. Because a yellow development card could mean a trader, and I obviously want the trader back because it's just a victory point. And it brings me way closer to my 13 points. So I think I will play the spy on pink. 11, that's not my number anymore. Unfortunately. So I need 2 ores. And 3 clubs. Yeah, I can't get there, unfortunately. Well, maybe. If I get a trader, I should. Yes, that was the right choice, because I knew he had a trader. So I think the game is over now, because I can play a trader on bricks, that's my 10th point. And then I can chase all those 6 bricks away for 3 cloth. And build a metropolis that's That's 12 points, and then I can play the fleet as well. Play the fleet on sheep, and trade 2 sheep. I am not... Yeah, that's fine. 2 sheep and 3 grain. No, 2 sheep and 3 grain. Like that, for 2 ores. And then I play my medicine. And it brings me, with my final products, to the 13th point. Phew. I wasn't convinced I was going to win this. Let me be honest with you guys. And I'm pretty sure Red should have taken my longest road away when I was at 9 points or 10 points. I mean, that's way too dangerous. Never do that. Just build one more road, take it away, and force me to build 2 roads to win it, because otherwise winning it is actually way too easy. So, alright guys, hope the video turns out well, but yeah, I will wrap it up for today. Have a good night, you all.